You're listening to Kate Palmer from sparkletart.com, and today my video is going to be broken into 3 parts because there's a fair bit to it and I'm a little worried it might get a bit long. In this first clip, I'm going to show you how to create a gorgeous vintage or steampunk or grunge, whatever you'd like to use it for, background. Now I'm starting with a plain manila tag, nothing special here. What I'm going to use on this tag is some torn up strips of paper and some matte medium, just to stick the paper down. I've got 4 different colours of spray from Lindy's Stamp Gang. I've got 2 Moonshadow Mists, a flat Fabio and a Starburst. They're all beautiful. So the first one I'm going to use is Gossamer Gold. This is a Moonshadow Mist. It's got a brown dye base with gold shimmer through it. It's stunning. Next is Long John's Silver. I bet you can guess what the shimmer colour is in there. I've got Sandra Dee Sepia Flat Fabio and Bombshell Black in the Starburst. And these are going to make the most beautiful background that you've seen. Now starting with some fluid matte medium, they can be any brand. Golden is the brand I like because it's really reliable. I'm going to tear up little pieces of paper. I'm using an old dictionary page and glue these down using the matte medium. Now I'm not really worried about this drying because I'm about to wet it both sides with just some plain water. Now you need to wet the tag before you crumple it, which is what I'm about to do, to add some extra texture. If it's not wet enough, that manila will rip, which is okay if that's what you want, but it's not what I wanted here. So I'm going to start with Sandra Dee Sepia, but what I'm going to do is spritz a bit more water onto the tag first. What this will do is it will make the colour wick and spread, and it will also be a little more of a smooth, soft result. Okay, so I'm adding the Sandra Dee Sepia in the middle. I'm going to add Long John's Silver to the top here. Make sure to squirt it on there. I'm going to add Gossamer Gold to the bottom. There we go. Now you can see the differences here already. So you've got the Gossamer Gold with this beautiful golden colour here. Long John Silver is a bit more of a grey tone, even though they're both Moonshadow Mists. And then the Sandra Dee Sepia in the middle. Now the lovely thing about that Sandra Dee Sepia is that it's seeped around the edges of all of that vintage paper, and it's kind of highlighted those edges for me. I feel like I've cheated a little bit, but it looks fantastic. Now what I'm going to do with the Bombshell Black is I'm not going to spray this over the top because it would be quite, it would sort of take over a bit. So I'm just going to flick it on. So I'll end up with little spots of it. And what I'm hoping this will do as well is pick up some of that texture. Now the really cool thing here is as it dries, the sparkle in the Moonshadow Mists and the Starburst spray actually settles in some of those crinkled areas. It takes differently and it sinks into them. So you get these runs of beautiful sparkly colour. You'll also have beautiful coloured backgrounds, but with little variation thanks to the different colours. Now if any of these areas are sort of a bit too different, too much, you can add a little bit more of the Sandra Dee Sepia. So I'm just going to do that over the top of the Gossamer Gold there because it was quite a different colour to the rest. And I'm just adding a few spots of that Sandra Dee Sepia by just depressing the sprayer so slowly that it kind of dribbles out rather than sprays. So just really slowly until it gets a big fat drop on the end. Okay, now you can leave this to air dry, or you can hurry it up with a heat gun. And I'm not feeling very patient, so I'm going to hurry it up with the heat gun. Okay, this is not completely dry yet. It's a bit hot. I'm willing to burn my hands for you guys. Alright, so down the bottom is the Gossamer Gold, and you can see that beautiful and how strong that shimmer is down here. So that's the Gossamer Gold. This middle section is where I used the Sandra Dee Sepia. You can see there's not as much shimmer here because this is a flat Fabio, so there is no shimmer in here. And it is seeped around the edges of all of that texture, picked out the creases, looks wonderful. Up the top here, I have the Long John's Silver, and you can see that beautiful silver shimmer that is in this little bottle here. Now the really cool thing is that the Bombshell Black that I've used as my little splats has kind of bled or spread out because I'd wet the tag and there was already liquid on here, and it's mixed in with these other colours so beautifully, just adding a little bit of depth to the whole thing. So this is my first idea for creating vintage, grunge or steampunk effects with your Lindy Stamp Game products. Now I'm giving you a little sneak peek of my finished tag here. If you'd like to see how I created the vintage enameled metal clip or added the texture, the links to the other 2 clips in this series are just in the information section at the bottom of this video. Thanks for watching. Bye!